Hi, I'd like to do a flip through of my Shabby Chic journal. I had never done a Shabby Chic journal before, so it was sort of a learning experience. Um, I made it with this beautiful shirt lace that my mother had. It was like a crepe de chine or some kind of a material underneath of it, but I trimmed that away to where I just had the buttons with the little buttonholes and this one set of lace here. Then I purchased this lace to go under it, and I added some little uh, pieces from a trim that I had purchased. I knew I needed some other color on the front, so I made a hat pin and threaded it through the lace, and I think that adds just enough touch of color. It wraps around from the back side, so it has the lace here as well. And I had to come up with some kind of a closure to hold it because I knew it was going to be kind of thick. So I added this string which goes up underneath of the spine, and I really glued it good. So it wraps around and goes over the two buttons that are right here. And like I said, it needed help to stay closed because it sort of gaps. But it's got a lot of good stuff in it. So this first page, or the inside and backside covers, have the same sort of a pocket. I needed a pocket that would add stability here because I didn't measure this right, or it just didn't go out far enough to cover my pages. So I added this extra piece of just Stamperia paper, which is thick, but it was thin and it was bowing in from the string. So I put a couple strips of a heavier paper right here, and it adds that little bit that I needed. So I used some of my beautiful lace here on the front, and I also made a little bookmark to go in it with a little rose and little dangles. This is a kit that I had, and it's called Shabby Chic Rose by the Journal Boat, and had such beautiful colors and everything to it. Here is one of the pockets I made, and I extended the pocket from the kit. Or actually, no, this was an extra piece of paper I had. I'm sorry. But I extended it so it was a little taller so it would hold both. And then this was like a little shabby rose paper. And this was one of the pharmacy pockets I had decorated. It has people inside here. It also has two sets of pockets. The way I do it, I'll fold the open mouth of the bag over. So I've got a pocket here and a pocket in behind here. And then I'll have a third pocket once I glue it down. Here is one of my, I put a doily in here, but it was flippy flopping and I didn't like it at all. So I secured it down with a little button of Velcro. So then I thought, well, let me put something on the back of it and it could be written on. And so I did that. And then in a challenge, we had to do these little hearts with scraps and everything we had on our desk and a word. So I did that, and it turned out to go there perfectly. This paper, I'm not sure what it is. It's some kind of a handmade paper I've had for ages and ages. Here is one of the pockets from the kit, which I extended up and added a little bit of lace to it. And it's so pretty. That's from the kit. Shabby Chic Rose, and so is that. Here was a paper that I learned how to do from Gail Agostinelli. And you just took little strips and rips of your scrap papers, and you put it around the edge of the page, and it enhances it. It really adds the different colors that you might need. This was a belly band I made, and it is got a little pocket right there, little snug, but it's there, and it holds a little dangle for me. This was an envelope I made, and it's just doesn't have anything in it, but I did a little bit of a decoration to it. Plus, I have a piece of paper that had my favorite lady, well, she's from the kit, and I thought she would go perfectly there for just a little journaling spot. That goes up behind here, and then that one goes in here, and it's got this little extra area right here that you could tuck anything you wanted to. So I just decided to put the nose of the envelope in there to kind of keep it steady. This is a page from the Shabby Chic Rose. It's so pretty. I love that rose right there. This is one of the backing sheets, and I had these little pockets that had spots and stuff. They were from, of course, Hobby Lobby and the I think the party goods section. So I took it and I decorated it up. I've got some heat embossing on here with gold. I did stamping. I did some of the Tim Holtz papers, collage papers on here. I have a napkin, which is the rose. So I duded that up pretty good. And of course, there's my favorite lady again. And this is on mulberry paper. So it's a very thin paper, so it gave it a little bit of strength. And then I made a pocket because it was a 12 by 12, and I just flipped it around. And then I decorated the edge of the pocket. Now, this was something I come up with. I'd seen people doing die cuts over vellum, and I decided to do that with an envelope. And so the envelope opens, and inside is my little flowers that's left over from my birthday bouquet. And I did them under acetate. So you're able to still get inside of this envelope and tuck a message or whatever you would choose to do. And I thought that was kind of a neat idea. And it also adds a little stability. Here was a paper bag. It was a short one that I had gotten, and I had all these extra strips of paper, so I decorated it up, and then I put one of the images from Shabby Chic Rose on here. And this is a pocket, and it's got the little envelope that came with the kit, and I just folded it up and made it to where you could open it completely. Whoops, there was my phone. And I have a vellum dot here to hold it shut. And then I just put it back in here somehow. And I usually try to do the flaps right over that little lip there, and it doesn't fall down in there and get hidden. The other side is a tiny pocket here, since I only glued it down the 3 sides, and more images from Shabby Chic Rose kit. Here was a teacup that I got from Scrapbooking with Me images a long time ago, and I always love teacups, teapots and teacups, so I wanted to have that looking like it was on a piece of tablecloth. So I wanted the tablecloth to actually be liftable. So you can actually get under here and write a little bit of journaling, whatever you would choose to do. And this beautiful lace image is from, oh gosh, what is that? Angela Kerr. Her Etsy store has a set of doilies and went perfectly. And this is a feather image behind it here. And then I had this image. I had a bunch of papers from long ago. This image Artie Mays did. Or it's not an image, it's a pocket that is a top pocket. And you had a little banner that comes down, and it gives you a guiding spot to tuck something under it. But you would put either a piece of vellum or a piece of lace at a catty corner, and then you could decorate the top. And I thought that was really pretty. And that's one of the images from the Shabby Chic Rose kit, as well as this paper here. Then this is my another dotted page. This was a little, well, she showed us with a doily. Miss Paints a Lot. She had it on one of her lives one Sunday where she was going to do a shabby chic journal, and she decorated up a doily with lace under it and stuff. Well, my eyes saw a fan. I like fans. So that's what this is. And it's a hidden paper clip. So this is on this side. And then the back side, I had this little banner piece from an old paper pad. So it also will hold a little image or journal card. And I just come up with a little blade point and went to town from there. These just 2 pages. This page from Shabby Chic Rose, and this is one of the backing sheets. This is a little piece me and my friend were working on one night, and I didn't have the right cutout for mine, so my image, which we had together, did not go all the way out, so you saw white in the background. So I made mine into a pocket, and I edged her in black, so it looks like she just kind of fades into the edges side here. And then this also has a little pocket off to the side. It's just a little scrap I had, and it seemed to go with it. My button page I sacrificed for this book. I loved it, and I thought it would go good here. Now this was a double spread here, and this was a couple images from Shabby Chic Rose. And Artie Mays had done this page with, I don't know if it was lace or something, where it was, the one piece was smaller and the back piece was larger, and you were able to tuck in from both sides. And I went with that and made up, and this is a large index card that I coffee dyed, or maybe that's tea dye. And this is more that beautiful lace from Angela Kerr's Etsy store. It's named Doilies, and she has several beautiful, beautiful doilies in there. Here was a postcard from the kit, and it's just paper clipped on here because this was a paper clip from scraps that we did. Gosh, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember who showed us how to do that. I'm sorry. I don't know if it was Miss Paints a Lot or someone else was showing us how to do that. Now here's one of these pages that I kind of come up with. I don't know, maybe out there somewhere, but I didn't know. But it has 3 little cards that'll go down in these pockets. And I'd done a smaller version in a shorter journal, and it had 2 pockets. And then you just do some kind of decoration here. You turn it over, and it's got your little decoration here. And I had a piece of that button scrap. And then you fold it like this, and you're able to write back in here on this whole page, and nobody will ever see it. This was some of my pokeberry, squez pokeberries with my hand, and I made pokeberry paper, and this was one of them. So I hung them on the line, and you can see the clothespin holders. So I figured that was a good spot to hide. So that's how that goes. And then you probably saw this. This is my dress. I've been seeing everybody do these little fold-up dresses and stuff, and I wanted to make one, but I wanted her to be flat because this was already getting to be a big book. So I had these buttons I bought at Walmart, and I cut the back off and had this little cameo. Then I did 3 little pearls. That's the only height to this whatsoever. But this is what the blue background fabric from, paper from Shabby Chic Rose kit. And this was the Angela Kerr doily. There's another one of her doilies. And I made like an overlay, and I thought that was really pretty. And it went with this page because it was the blues were tying in together. And I think that was a freebie I got from My Porch Prints. And I stuck that at the very back to be the highest. This was from Shabby Chic Rose by Journal Boat. And this is a envelope this is a long piece of envelope, and then I had the other end, the shorter piece, and I did like a little thumb pull here. So it's got two pockets in it. That was another one of the real pretty images from Shabby Chic Rose. And here is the other side of that piece that I described from Artie Mae's. And it's the same. It's a large index card, has the, what was I going to say, has the doily from Angela Kerr around it. The tape here that you see is actually washi tape and had a beautiful gold, and it kind of fades in, so I mitered my corners and everything and made it to where it looks like it's framing it. Here is the other side of the button page. Now this, we went to our vacation in March to do our cemetery hunting, and anyhow, about everywhere we went to eat, they had the silverware bags. So here was the silverware bag I decorated, and I flipped it over because it was a long piece. This is just what goes inside of it. And then here's the bottom pocket, which is that. This is a wooden button I got at Walmart. And anyhow, I made up quite a few of those. Everywhere I was going, they had those little silverware bags. Now this is something I was coming up with, and I don't know if I quite perfected it before I got it in here, but it's like little envelopes, and each one is in its own little, I don't know what you call these things, a little slide, and it's got a vellum pocket, and it's one of those you can open up and journal in. And each one has its own little, I guess that's a gusset. Maybe that's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, each one has its own little gusset that it's in, and it unfolds the same way. Now the top two don't have the little vellum dot because they are held down by the previous envelope. Here's another one of the beautiful pockets from the kit, Shabby Chic Rose. More of the little, that's like a little journal postcard in the kit. Here's one of the pretty tags from the kit. And this was, I think, a freebie I got from somewhere. And then here is another a side tuck that I saw on Artie Mae's. And the other side has like the image and little decoration and everything. And I kind of went with a different idea, but it's along the same lines where it was like a side tuck with a little extension out and different levels kind of a thing. Here is my corset pocket. Everybody was doing corsets. I saw Angela Kerr doing a corset, and hers didn't have any shape to it. It was cute, and it unlaced and everything. But I wanted one that looked more like the corset that you see in the Victorian era. So I had a piece of vellum that I printed the Angela Kerr design. So it's still got a little bit that has to do with her. And I put it over another material or paper that looks like material with little colors and roses and stuff. And then I laced her up, and I put my trims on, and then I glued her down just on the outside edges. So your tag can only be as wide as her waist. So I decorated this lady up. She looked like she's got one on, and then I said, hold tight a while. So I put the little corset on a card. I know it goes back in there. It's just snug. And on the card, it's glued down three sides. So you have a journal card that's inside of it that can be written on. And then that goes back in here. And this is my lace and feather fabric. I guess my burl's sitting there. Ugh, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I might have to put something on over that. This was something that I saw, and I'm trying to remember who showed us. I think it may have been Miss Paints a Lot. Anyhow, you take a 12 by 12 and you fold it out, and you had a little something there that held that down, and I used a piece of Stamperia paper because it just had the right colors for me. But I put images from the Shabby Chic Rose Kit and a few other little things I had that was hanging around my stash for ages and ages, I must say. But each one opens and has something in it. And, gosh, can't get that one open. My hands don't want to work. I got a little definition in that one and another little angel. And they just kind of go back. Actually, that's the front. And okay. And I think this has a, yeah, it's got a little tag in there. Okay. All right. And then this is the other end of the mulberry paper. And since this was so weighty, I just left that alone in there. Here's another pocket that I did an extension on. It's got more of the pretty tags from the kit and postcards and things. My lady that I'm crazy about. Okay, here's another pocket. This is a crazy tag I did a while back when I cleaned off my desk, and then I put all these images and stamps and things on it. And I had these little ladies, and I cut the oval out, and I had this little piece from a Mente book, a junk book, I think it was. So I made that look like a little cameo. But anyway, here's my little pocket. It's a clear pocket, and it's not acetate. It was actually a package bag, and I had my little Tim Holtz flowers I cut out and painted with alcohol markers. And I saw one of the girls that does a lot of the maybe MK knits on Instagram. She did something with the little threads left over, and she put it in her flower head face or whatever, and then she put the middle of the flower on. I thought that was a cool idea, so that's where I was trying that. And the pot I made out of a leftover interwoven, I think it is, the Tim Holtz 3D embossing folder. And this is the other end of that page I saw from Gail Gustinelli. Here was my make on a library pocket. So it had the pinks and things. You can write on that. And back's just plain. I'll put that back in later. And here's the other side of my doily, my floppy doily, but I lined it too where you can write on it. And here is a, that's a really pretty little tag from the Shabby Chic Rose Kit. And this was that paper here, that handmade paper, that, and it had this leaf in it. But this is an image and a word from the kit, and I made like a little design. This is from Laurette Chandler, the vintage paper girl, from her Etsy store. Can't remember what exactly this was called, but she had several colors, and this was the perfect one. They gave you all these little images. This is a belly band over here, so you can put something under it. This goes shut, and then on the front you've got a pocket that has this little wagon. You can get in there. There you go. And a little quote from, I believe this was Jane Austen. So that goes in this pocket. And more of my Shabby Rose. These were little tickets from the kit. I had took several of them and decorated on pockets with it. That's another one of my freebies from my porch prints. And since it was purple, my ink was running out, so this printed purple, and that was the perfect spot for it. I just made that pocket up from some flyer I had from Alaska. Here's my back pocket that I made, and that was just leftovers, and I made a little tag out of it, and this was Stamperia paper, if I didn't mention it. But that is my book. Thank you very much.